Hey, welcome everybody. It's Coach Nancy, and I'm joined here tonight by Health Coach Darrah and program members Brooke and Debbie. They're from our HMR program in Tri-State Clearwater in Idaho. How is everyone tonight?
Good.
Doing
Hi,
well?
everybody.
Hi.
Hey, welcome to everybody here. So, we all spoke a couple of weeks ago, and each of you, Brooke and Debbie, you shared with me what led you to joining the HMR program. And your stories are very different, and they're both very compelling. And since you both had such strong reasons for wanting to lose weight, we thought that that would be a great focus for our discussion tonight. So our theme is remembering why you started. So for a good part of this event, we're going to be focusing on your personal reasons for losing weight. And as we're hearing from Brooke and Debbie, everybody that's joining us, we want to hear from you as well. So please tell us why you started HMR. And if you haven't started yet and you're just looking at HMR or getting ready to start, welcome, and tell us your top reason for wanting to lose weight. All right, so let's see who we've got joining us.
Hi, Sue. I see Sue.
All right.
Jennifer. Oh, Morgan. That's Debbie's daughter.
Oh, wonderful.
Hi, Morgan.
All right, so we have
my first live. So,
like she goes, hi, Mom. All right, we've got lots of people. Jessica,
Annika,
Charlotte, Dana. Hey, Rick's here.
Hi, Rick.
Yeah, you guys met Rick. Rick,
Yeah.
Annika's here, Coach Annika. Bob from
this is
Rancho Cucamonga. We got our regulars coming in. All right, well, welcome everybody. Cindy. So please, again, as Debbie and Brooke share their stories, even if you've posted this before on our Facebook, what had you decide to start the program? What was the the crucial reason to join? All right, so we're going to start this a little bit differently here because I'm going to actually talk to Darrah first, because I think she's got a fabulous story as to how she became a health coach at Tri-State. So, Darrah, here you are, you have a bachelor's in social work, and you're actually working for a different weight loss program.
Mm-hmm.
And Tri-State recruited you because they wanted you to work in the HMR program that they had. So tell us about your journey.
Yeah. So, hi, everybody. This is my first live ever. So I'm a little nervous, just putting it out there. But I've been a health coach now for about 5 years. And I started coaching ideal protein. And then I really dove into evidence-based nutrition. My dad got sick and all my family is in the medical field. And so one of my brothers ended up going to school to be a doctor, and he kept sending me information on health and nutrition and evidence-based. And long story short, I started creating a program down at the other clinic I was working at, and the one I'm at now, Tri-State Clearwater, actually called me and asked me if I'd come work for them. They wanted that program up here, and then they needed a coach for their HMR program. Well, I come up here and I'm looking at this food thinking, nope. I am not going to eat box food. I'm not going to coach people to eat box food. There's no way. And I did the research. I looked at the data. I kept data from all my clients. I did the program myself, and I have to tell you all, I'm a convert. You have unlimited fruits and vegetables. I have never felt better. I have seen this heal so many people relationship with food. That is my go-to, and I'm just so grateful and so happy that I have found it. I truly put my nose up to it, and I love it. Now I love it. The evidence is there.
And I bet Deb and Brooke love that you're their coach.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Best
coach. I love that story, and just the fact that you took the time to look at the research and be open-minded, right?
Yeah.
Because, you have that first impression. Sometimes it's really hard to then be open-minded and, well, let me learn about this. And then to let the research really convince you to try it. And obviously,
Right. And I think that's a big problem, a big issue with a lot of us is we look at it, oh, it's pasta or it's box food. How can we lose weight and do that? Well, it really works.
Yeah. Perfect. All right. So let's start talking to Debbie and Brooke about their life before HMR. And actually, we're going to start with you, Deb, to tell us
Okay.
about your life before HMR. And as you do that, let me put up a before picture for a couple of minutes so they can see you. And let's see. All right. All right. So go ahead and tell us, Deb.
Well, that was at my son's wedding. And I had been about the same weight most of my life. And when I was younger, even after I had my kids, until I turned about 40, I had stayed about the same weight. If I started to gain weight, I would just not eat until I lost. I mean, I wouldn't go 5 pounds over where I was at ever. And then when I got about 40 and my kids were getting older
Hey,
and
well, Debbie, let me stop you because I loved your approach. So when you start, like if you gained 5 pounds, what did you do?
I just didn't eat.
Yeah.
I would go a week and drink, and I smoked back then, Diet Pepsi and cigarettes.
Good, healthy way to lose weight, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and I felt so good, I was living. But yeah, that's what I did. And so when I got about 40, 45, I started gaining weight. And, I just didn't quit. Gained a lot of weight, over 50, 60, 70 pounds. And so then I found myself, almost 60 and decided that, and I had tried different diets after I had started gaining weight. When I got to 20 or 30 pounds overweight, I tried Weight Watchers and I tried Nutrisystem. I must have tried every diet out there. And then I would just fail. And so I'd quit and I'd gain more weight. And then a couple of years ago, maybe 5, I got really my heaviest. And I thought I had heard of Ideal Protein. So I went on that, lost 50 pounds, in about 5 months, and thought I did not feel good, but I lost the weight. Went off of it because that's what you do. You don't learn any habits or anything, a new lifestyle. You just learn how to lose 50 pounds. Then I gained that back plus. And so then I just decided one day, I saw a picture of myself and I was devastated. I could not believe how terrible I looked. I think it was the wedding pictures. And I thought, oh, I look terrible. And, I felt bad. Then it got to the point where I love my grandkids. I've got 6 grandkids. The oldest is 15, the youngest is 2. And so the little ones like you to get down on the floor and play with them and have fun with them and chase them around, which I found myself when I got down on the floor to play with them, I couldn't get back up. So then you're rolling around on the floor and it's embarrassing. Your kids have to help you up. And the thing that really, really got me was my husband's retired and he goes to Arizona every year. And so in the winter, I would go down there for a week because I still work every month. And we went down there and he's always been in good shape and we like to golf. And so I looked around. We always go to one of the resorts down there, RV resort, and they do a ton of activity. And I look around and there's 2 groups of people. There's the older people. I mean, these people are 70, 80, 90 years old, and they're doing the tennis and the golfing and the swimming and the tons of activities, and they're all in good shape, and they all get around good. And I'm so heavy at that point, even my balance is bad. Walking up and down the steps, I fell a couple times. And then I look at the group of people who are very overweight, and all they do is walk from their place to the lawn chair and sit. And I thought, I don't want to be that person. And then we went out on the golf course, and this really struck me. And Tony has always been very good, never negative about however I look. We've been married for 30 years, and he's just been great, but it's my own feelings. So we went out and we drove up to the golf course, and of course my husband's very social, he knows everybody. And we drove up in the cart, and what couple of the guys, most people walk the courses down there when they golf. Some people do a cart and some people walk. Well, I couldn't walk the course. I was too fat. I wasn't in good enough shape. So we drove up in the cart, and one of the guys that he usually golfs with every day when I'm not there, two of them were standing there, a guy and his wife, and they were in the walking carts, and they go, "Oh, Tony, you got a cart today? You're not walking it with us?" And he goes, "No, my wife's down. We're going to take the cart." And he didn't say it in a bad way, but it about made me start crying, because I thought, I am in such bad shape that I can't even walk the course. He has to rent a cart when I come down here. And it just devastated me. And I thought, when I got back home, I told my daughter, Morgan, I said, who wanted to lose weight too? I said, I'm going to call and make us an appointment, because I said, even though we both lost weight on Ideal, even though we didn't keep it off, maybe we can change. So I called the Clearwater Medical Center, because I heard that's where they did it then. And the gal that answered the phone was really sweet. And she told me that they didn't do that program. They do a program called HMR, and that this gal named Darrah ran it. She was the coach, and she said, I've ate the meals. They're really good. So we went in, we met with Darrah. She explained the program, and I told Morgan, I said, this is what we're going to do. And so we started doing the program, and thank God we did, because I feel wonderful. And Darrah's a great coach, and the program, I've never had a program where I could eat so much food. I've totally changed the way I feel about food, and my taste buds and everything have changed. I'm never hungry, and I have more energy than I've had in 30 years since I.
Oh, that's awesome. And we'll get into actually your participation, but that story, Deb, it's so powerful. And then just, kind of that 3 episode final straw, if you will, about the picture and then not being able to get up with the grandchildren, and then the golf cart story is just so moving. And I'm just so excited that you found HMR and Darrah, and that you and your daughter started and found. I remember even when you were talking about the Ideal, and I'm not trying to trash a program, but the fact that you didn't have a lot of energy. In fact, they asked you not to exercise, which I thought was like totally different from our program. Because
yeah, you couldn't exercise. you really couldn't.
Literally.
Yeah, literally, physically.
Too tired.
Yeah, I was exhausted.
So anyway, we're getting people posted. Don't forget, everybody that's watching, tell us why you joined HMR, if you are on HMR, or if you haven't started. What's the top reason you want to lose weight? And we're getting people that are relating to what you said, Debbie. Kathy says, Debbie, I think we're twins. I hope I have as much success as you.
Oh,
so,
you will.
Yes, did you hear that, Kathy? Carolyn, my why was my doc said I had sleep apnea and had to use a CPAP. Nope, not happening ever. I wanted to feel healthy again. and to be able to recognize myself in the mirror.
I love it. It's like
Marcia,
saying, my why is feeling better. Marcia, great. You had Darrah, right on point. Carolyn said my why. Oh, I think you read that one. The sleep apnea.
Marcia,
these are
bring
great.
tears to my eyes listening to Debbie and her daughter.
Yeah.
All
Oh,
right.
yeah. I've cried many times in here with those two,
Yeah.
or talking with Debbie, and it's pretty
All right.
amazing.
So again, just for everybody, if anybody's just joining us, we're focusing on your personal reasons for losing weight. We just heard from Debbie, who lost 50 pounds in phase 1 and is continuing to lose a little bit more. We'll get to that in a bit with HMR. And now we're going to hear from Brooke. And again, don't forget, tell us why you joined HMR, your top reason if you're watching us. So Brooke, let's hear from you now about your experience with your weight before HMR. And again, I want to share a picture of you before you started. Let me just.
Yeah, I'm about to get very personal. So if you could please share your personal stories, I would appreciate it. That picture was just at the beginning of April. I had just gone to Vegas. Oh my gosh, I'm wearing the same shirt. That's fun. So my entire life, I've grown up seeing weight loss struggles in my own immediate family. Couple of my family members have had to have bariatric surgery, and seeing that as a child, you know, that's back in the day where the entire abdomen is cut open. So that, you know, traumatizing as a child to see that. But I've seen yo-yo dieting, Weight Watchers, Jenny Craig. Pretty sure there was a stint of the cabbage soup diet when that was the thing that was in my house. So that's what I see. You know, I'm 100% an emotional binge eater. When I am emotional, happy, sad, angry, alternative food is my comfort. So fast forward, I got divorced 2 years ago. That's highly emotional time for me. And I gained 80 pounds. And I also have PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. So for any women out there that have it, which I know there's a few in this group, I've talked to them, but everything is hard except for gaining weight. Like you can't lose weight, infertility, that's a big issue. You don't cycle, so you don't have your menstruation. So at this point, I'm divorced, constantly eating because that's the only thing that makes me feel good. Up 80 pounds. I'm on antidepressants. I go to my doctor for a med check. And at this point, this was just in March. I'm feeling pretty good. I stopped taking my antidepressants, and I'm in there with her, and she's looking over all my labs, and I tell her that I've stopped taking them. I'm feeling really good. And she said, that's great. I'm so happy you're feeling emotionally better. Now that you are, we're going to talk about your weight. And I just like panic. That's a scary thing to have your doctor approach you about. She essentially said my risk factors are scary for somebody. I'm 32 years old. I'm starting to develop fatty liver disease, high blood pressure, something going on with kidneys. They're starting to not function. So she gave me a choice. She said, we have this program here. It's called HMR. I'm going to refer you to them. You either take this seriously, or I'm going to refer you to a bariatric surgeon, and we're going to start that discussion. And that was terrifying. So I'm taking in all this information, and I make my appointment with Darrah. It's the night before my appointment. I'm just scrolling around on Pinterest, and I see this meme that pops up. Really pretty beach scene, and it says, what if this time you don't quit? And it really like punched me in the gut, because it's one of those moments where you have to look at your entire life and you realize you're a quitter. I've quit every single diet that I've tried. and I've tried a bunch of them. I've quit every single exercise activity that I've tried. I quit my marriage. So just kind of one of those things. What if you don't quit? So the next day I go and I meet with Darrah, and I've never, ever in my life felt instantly so safe with someone and not judged. It was such a calm environment. And I was like, you know what if this time I don't quit? What if I actually commit and I see it through? And it's been pretty amazing since then.
And you haven't quit.
I haven't quit.
Yeah.
No, we're just under 4 months in, and I've never been so mentally clear and emotionally clear. Side note, disclaimer, I've started menstruating, which is a huge thing when you don't for your entire life.
Your body's working.
So exciting.
It's fine.
Oh.
I'm so excited.
It's just, I love that story, Brooke. I mean, it's just so powerful. And I'm sure we're getting a lot of love here for just being willing to share that. And, yeah, Jennifer Maples, yes, Brooke, those messages tend to come through when you're truly ready. Yeah, what an amazing story. Amazing story, Brooke. So honest and touching, such a generous share. You sound amazing. Morgan says, love you, Darrah. Again,
oh, I love you, Morgan.
Her determination is so motivating to me. So you're getting a lot of people just really appreciating. Oh, here's Bob. When I was asked, I had the confidence to participate in a virtual church service this past Sunday that I would never have had before I lost 160 pounds. So again, you've got some other people who are willing to step up and talk and share as a result of the weight loss. So, you mentioned so much this quote that has been really central to your not quitting, right? So for those of you watching, how about, is there a quote or a mantra that you use that helps you as you're managing your weight and your health? So if you do, please post those. They can be so powerful. I love yours. I mean, what if this time I just don't quit? I just love it.
I put it right next to my computer screen at work. Darrah's got it in her office. Yeah.
Oh, show us.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Hanging up.
Yeah. It was super impactful. And, I shared that with Darrah, and I didn't realize how impactful that would be for her to have kind of, somebody else have that aha moment with her. So really nice to share. I'm not super, I don't share a lot of my personal information with a lot of people, but here we go.
So now you're time until this moment, right?
I've got nothing to hide. Like, I'm so excited to see what else changes in my life that I'm open. I've never been open like this before.
Awesome. Well,
vulnerability there's something to say about being vulnerable, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's huge. And I have to add, when Nancy and Rick approached me with doing a Facebook Live, it was Brooke and Debbie who I instantly thought of. Instantly, because your two stories are so powerful, and I knew it could impact other people in such different situations. And it makes me want to cry how much you two mean to me, because I mean, you both being vulnerable like this, I'm just extremely grateful. Just wanted to tell you guys that. But I did. You two are I was just like, Debbie and Brooke. Yeah,
that's what there was no hesitation in her.
Now I just got to convince them.
Yeah, and then I was like, do you think you can have them come on? But she's good arm twister, I can tell.
Yeah.
All right, so let's actually now move into your experience during phase one. Of course, that's the aggressive weight loss phase. Debbie, you're through that now. Brooke, you're in it. So Deb, so tell us, just start us off. Tell us when you began, how long you were in phase one, and then, anything you want to share about your experience.
Okay, well, I started in February of 2020, right at the beginning of the pandemic. And I did very well. I always stayed in the box. I did not go out of the box. And it was funny because to me, I look back now and HMR is not a diet. It is the way of life. It is a tool to teach you how to change your habits and live your life different. And some of my habits were I would get up every morning. I'm a creature of habit. I get up at the same time. I'd go to work, wouldn't eat breakfast, didn't pack a lunch, eat junk and stuff all day. Went on HMR and I became very good at planning and very good at tracking on the app. I tracked on the app every day to make sure I stayed in the box because I'm forgetful and I can't remember things, but I knew I was staying in the box. I would get where I would have a planned day on Sunday, make sure I get to the store and did the shopping, prepared big, huge bowls of salad. So that anytime I could have a salad, make sure I had my fruits and vegetables, packed more food than I've ever ate. In fact, in the beginning, it was funny because Darrah was always saying on the fruits and vegetables, more is better. Well, first of all, that's something in your head that you cannot, you are so programmed to eat less.
Yes.
That she would say more is better. And I, we'd always smile at her and nod like, you're so cute. And so first time that she said that, and she was saying, yes, you need to eat your goal this week is to eat 10 fruits and vegetables one day. And so we walked outside and I said, I looked at Morgan and I said, she's a nice girl, but that girl is crazy. And she just smiled. And but it's funny how if I can do this, anybody can do it, because I am older and I am stubborn, and some of the things that you have to change most of the things you have to change, 90% of it is mental. You just have to trust the program and do what your coach tells you, stay in the box and track it. It's not that hard to stay in the box because you're going to eat more food. You're not going to ever be hungry. You should not be ever hungry.
Which is very different from all of your other dieting experiences.
Oh, yes. And the biggest part for me was the getting in the PA. But once I started doing that, I started losing faster. In fact, one of the things that actually finally clicked with the more is better, Darrah said it for weeks. And I started out and I lost 5 pounds the first week, and then 4 pounds, and then 3 pounds, then 1. And then I kind of stalled and I was like, what? I'm in the box. I'm doing everything. I'm following it. And she said that's when she told me to eat the 10 fruits and vegetables one day, and that more is better, more is better. And I said, stop saying more is better. But
you said, don't ever say that again.
Don't ever say that again. So that week I had 10 that day, and I ate a lot of fruits and vegetables, and I kicked back in and lost 2 pounds. And so I thought, it just blew my mind, because that is so against what we have ingrained in us. So then I just started trusting her more and more and following the program. But I refused to go out of the box. And speaking of sayings, this is years ago. I don't know if everybody remembers Richard Simmons, but he had a saying, because I used to watch him too. I wouldn't, even at work, they would say, well, just take a bite, because people are so helpful. And Richard Simmons had this saying. He said, a sliver, a slab, a slob. if you take a sliver of something, you're going to end up taking a slab of it, and then you're never going, you're just going to end up in the shape you are. And so I always remembered that. But the other thing that, besides not being hungry, is I looked at the HMR site and I got some of the recipes they did, and I learned how to make. I'm not a real great cook, but I learned how to make the cookies and some of the things that I actually wanted or missed, and just to do the, to keep on the program
Right.
if I wanted something different. But I loved all the food. I thought there was a few meals that weren't my favorite, but for the most part, I really enjoyed it. And one of the reasons, your body starts craving and wanting different things. And so if I really believe it's a process, it's a habit that we form. So my deal was, if you stay in the box, you are training yourself, and your training period becomes shorter, because if you start craving foods that you are supposed to have, but if you keep going outside of the box, it makes the period that you're learning takes longer.
Yeah.
So I really encourage people to do that. But the other thing that was so helpful to me was I just started feeling wonderful. When the more weight I would lose, the more I would exercise, the better I felt. And I worked long days, and most of the time in the afternoons, I would get very, very tired before I started HMR. By 2 o'clock, I was exhausted every day. Now I'm never tired. I get off work and I go to the gym. So in fact, my 15-year-old grandson goes to the gym with me.
I love that.
I know, it was so, and he's very tall, and I can tell sometimes he will look at me like, don't talk to me at the gym, Grandma. He'll wave at me, little hand wave like this.
We don't want to associate. Yes.
Yeah.
They don't want to be seen with elders at that age. So Debbie, I just to make a circle on your golf cart story. So let's just take a look at this. So here you are on the golf course.
Yeah.
So, what might you say about this picture, especially now that after you shared the other story?
Oh yeah, and I walked that course now.
I wondered about that.
We walked it. We walk it together with pushing our hand carts, and the neat thing is I have my Fitbit that my daughter Morgan bought me for Christmas, and so I can track my exercise and my calories burned. And you walk them golf course and do 18 holes, and you can burn over 1,100 calories.
So isn't that great that it's got to feel good, even if you don't have a great game of golf, just the fact that you're walking versus when you were in that cart.
Yes. You have no idea. It's like, I am so proud.
I am sure. I can feel it for you, believe me.
And just knowing Debbie from when I first saw her and her energy levels to which she's like when she comes in now.
Yeah.
It was, how soon can I get home to, I don't know, take a nap? And now it's after I get off work, I'm going to the gym with my grandson.
Yeah.
That's a huge difference.
Totally.
Yeah. Yes. I love it.
Oh, we're getting a lot of great comments here. A lot still coming in for Brooke as well as Debbie.
Oh, yep.
Tim says, when we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we always grow from the experience. For both of you, it was hard for me to ask for help too. Rick says, go ahead.
Morgan says, so proud of you, Mom. You're amazing.
Oh. We've got more people adding in their whys. Vicky says, I'm tired of not being able to be active like I have in the past. I want to live, not just to sit on the couch. So that's some of what you were saying, Debbie, too.
Yep.
And Linda, I think has not started. I think I need to try this with an open mind. I tried it before, but like Brooke, I've been a quitter. So Linda, this sounds like a perfect episode for you to be watching and hopefully trying again.
Mhm.
And Jennifer says, I've never liked the word diet, similar to what you were saying. I prefer lifestyle change, which is true. That's really what we're
That's what
going
it
for,
is.
right? Because that's the long-term
Mhm.
success, not the diet part. I feel it's better wording as it truly is talking about relearning how to live.
Right. It is.
Mhm.
Oh, lots.
Amazing job, you guys, from John.
Mhm.
Oh, what's Shane have to say? I thought more is better was the sales pitch to sell more product.
I've been asked that a lot.
Yeah,
I'm like,
know.
yes, I do though. I want you to buy more so you're more successful.
Yeah, but you can understand, of course, because there's so many programs that would do that, and it's hard. We have to be able to say, but we're not like that. That's not what we're doing.
Mhm.
And Barbara says, can you eat more on decision free? I'm in week 2. Absolutely. More is better in decision free.
Oh yeah.
You got a lot of
agree.
room. You can eat a lot of HMR foods before you would stop losing weight.
Yep.
And then John, and he's a big one. He goes, I use more is better all the time. He usually eats 78 fruits and vegetables to help curb my appetite. And he's keeping off 225 pounds.
Yes.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's incredible.
Boy, I mean, I could spend another half an hour just reading the comments. So you guys, it's really coming home for everybody.
This is awesome.
I love it. All right. So so Brooke, obviously you, no, so wait a minute. What am I saying? So let's talk about your experience in phase 1. So tell us when you started. You already mentioned early April. And so tell us about your experience so far.
Yeah, good. I'm down 30 pounds in the last 15 weeks. It's definitely made, so my nephew's really into baseball, so it's made really hot baseball days a heck of a lot easier, let me tell you. But yeah, no, it's been great. I think since week 2, I had getting super personal. Since week 2, I had my first menstruation that I had in 5 months.
Wow.
So
in just 2 weeks. That's amazing.
2 weeks. I was shocked.
I bet.
I got a text from her.
Yeah. I
I did.
imagine that would be like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what's happening, but this is happening. So I'm so alert. I was a habitual espresso 4 to 5 shot coffee drinker a day. Like, and that's just one coffee. Sometimes there were 2. I historically have always crashed like right at 3 o'clock. I've never been more awake in my life. Like, I was one of those people that I had to fight myself to get out of bed. Now I can just pop right out and go about my day. I've off my antidepressants, feel super, super clear. At work, I literally get comments about how much carrots I eat or cucumbers I eat because I'm always eating. It's just easy. I have a very, very busy work life. I work in mortgage construction lending. So right now with the housing boom, it's pretty nuts. But I don't have time to cook. And even if I did, I'm pretty awful at it anyway. I can bake an apple pie like you wouldn't believe, but I can't cook myself a wholesome meal. So I was really excited actually when my doctor told me that it was like packaged meals and shakes, because I'm like, that's amazing. Like, I can just keep it in my desk. I can grab and eat it. All I have to worry about is grabbing my veggies, prepping my veggies and my fruit. For me, I'm not a big eat in the morning kind of person. So I've really gotten into, like, I freeze a lot of berries and fruit. So I have a smoothie every morning. that watermelon cheesecake smoothie that the recipe was on the page is pretty amazing.
Yeah, that is. For those people that don't know, that's frozen watermelon
Yes.
in a vanilla shake with the sugar-free, fat-free cheesecake pudding, right?
Yes, it's so good. I never really ate vegetables. In May on Mother's Day, I take my mom out for brunch every year, and her jaw dropped because my plate was full of vegetables. And
Like, who is this person I raised?
She literally said, she's like, I've never been able to get you to eat your vegetables, so whatever you're doing, stick with it. It's like, oh, well, okay. I've been trying new foods, and I try different ways to cook it. So like I'll broil veggies, I'll bake them. I will, pan on the stove. I mean, I don't even know the words to cooking, but I'm doing. Or like in the air fryer, that's fun too. But like, I've hated beets. I actually really like beets now. Like, they have a really, really good taste to it. And I never knew that lettuce had like such like diverse flavor profile.
It does.
So
Who knew?
But like, it's exciting for me, which I know sounds really lame, but I get really excited about salad.
I do too. I really do.
I think this is a group of people that can really totally relate to you. And, maybe you couldn't talk about this other places at the steakhouse, but we can all really relate to you on this.
Oh my God. Yeah. Like it at the very beginning, it was super hard to get the 5 servings in. And then now I'm up, I have at least 10 servings.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. They're just good. And when I crave, like, I crave carrots.
Yep, she does. It's true.
I don't know who I am anymore.
Oh, that's such a great story. And, isn't it wonderful if you can crave carrots? I mean, that's just,
Right?
you think about that. Carrots versus carrot cake. There's a big difference there in calories. And, it's okay if you have a little trouble stopping eating carrots, but eventually you will. But, it's tougher with the carrot cake, as Debbie was describing. The slice, the sliver turns into the slice, can turn into half the cake, etc. So I love it. And let's just, I just want to share, I love this picture.
Oh yeah.
So, look at that. I mean, you just look so happy there.
Yes.
So just as you look at that picture, Brooke, like, what feelings and just emotions or words just come to mind for you?
I look at my before picture, and even though it was such a short time ago, I feel like the way that I have emotionally grown is pretty shocking. Like, I look at her and I know how sad she is. And then I look at my most recent one and I see a light behind my eyes that I don't see previously. And it, when it was posted on the page, I got a little emotional because or definitely me, like, I don't take full body pictures for a reason. And
I will vouch for this. She had a hard time finding it. You were uncomfortable.
Yeah,
totally.
It was hard
with who I was. That's not who I am, and that's not who I'm going to be. But it's just crazy. Like, I look at me in the purple shirt, and I'm happy and I'm excited and I'm not ashamed of my body. I'm not uncomfortable. I feel good in my own skin, and I'm loaded up with salad. So
yeah,
that's good.
And you look ready for anything.
Yeah.
I love this picture. So thank you for sharing that, and thank you for taking it. That's so awesome. All right, let me stop again so we can see each other. All right, so let's move on to like our final chapter here, which is phase 2. So we're going to go back to Debbie, who now you have transitioned. You've been in phase 2 since like March, right? So,
Yeah.
so let's talk about your experience in the phase 2 part of the program. This can tend to be, this is obviously the longer term phase. And, I think for those of, it can tend to be the hardest phase because it's not as clear cut structured. So tell us about
And
your,
I think in the beginning, it was very scary for me.
yeah.
Because a couple of times Darrah said, do you think you're ready for phase 2? And I thought, no. So, but then I thought, yes, because Darrah is very helpful. And she gave me, for one thing, I've said, well, what am I supposed to do? And so she explained it. Then she gave me flyers that said what kind of lean meats I could have or lean proteins, and then whole grains and the things that I would be transitioning into. And I still do my, in the morning, every morning I have a double shake with my blueberries, vanilla shake and blueberries. That's what I have every day. That's what I love. And whoops. And so she gave me a list, and I got where I planned out for a week, planned out what I was going to have every day, because, before I would just come home and whatever I would open the cupboard and whatever HMR I wanted, I could just pick. Well, you got to plan a little better, just like, so I would put that into my shopping, and then she would say, did you get your whole grains? And I was like, So I got brown rice, and then those two, her and Morgan and I would go to the meetings together. And so I told him, I went there and I said, oh, I finally found that Killer Dave's bread. And I looked all over for it. And them guys didn't correct me for about 3 weeks.
We felt bad.
Thank God I didn't go in and say, do you have Killer Dave's bread? They were
We're like, it's just Deb, it's just Mom.
Dave's killer bread. I was like, yeah, well, so finally, but I got that. And it's amazing to me because I love the flavor of it. And I will toast a slice, and it's thin. So I will toast the slice and eat it plain, which I used to look at my great aunt used to eat dry toast. And I think, how could you eat that? But I love it because it has really good flavor. So
Right. You're talking about the version of his bread that's 70 calories a slice.
Yes,
right?
it's thin. But I liked it. Yeah, I like
And
that
it's
one better.
completely whole grain, and it's really a great portion controlled way to have whole grain. Yeah.
Right. And the other thing that was helpful is my husband loves fruits and vegetables too, and he loves salad. Now he has high blood pressure that he takes medication for, which has nothing to do with weight because he's never weighed an ounce over what he should. So he eats basically the same thing I eat, except for he'll have more red meats. Oh, and he has ice cream every night, but he will eat the healthy food. He loves the fruits and vegetables. Our plates are salad and lots of vegetables and usually a lean protein. He sometimes eats other stuff, and we don't do the biscuits anymore that we used to have or any of that. And his blood pressure has actually came down since I've been doing HMR because he eats healthier because I eat healthier.
Yeah,
and
so that's been a nice side effect.
Yes, it's been lovely. And it's amazing to me because when you talk about eating fruits and vegetables, I never realized, like Brooke said, I never realized I didn't hardly eat any fruits and vegetables. I didn't even buy it. And now I come home, and if my fruit bowl's not full and you open my refrigerator and 2 shelves aren't full of fruits and vegetables, I practically panic. So it's pretty amazing how good you can feel. And the phase 2, once you start doing it, at first it's a little scary, But once you start doing it, it's not that hard. And the way I look at it is, it's just part of the transitioning period. It's just the way you're going to eat for the rest of your life. And I think and you're going to feel so good, and being able to do things and feel that way. Once you start doing it and you listen to your coach, and they're very helpful, like Darrah, and give you lots of flyers that sometimes she has to give you twice because you lose. But it's not really that hard. It's just a little scary at first.
So that's great. And while we're talking about this, for those of you who are in phase 2 who are watching, please post the strategy that helps you manage your weight. And one thing, just Deb, that I'm hearing from you, well, first of all, you mentioned earlier that you've lost weight in phase 2, right?
Oh, yes, 6 more pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still want to lose 6 more, but I'm at 56 right now.
That's great. And so
0.4.
it is possible, but what I'm hearing you say, which again, coaching from Darrah, and like the way to transition, I mean, the ideal way is to really maintain a lot of what you were doing in phase 1.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and then that continues as you're also starting to, find lean proteins and building those in, and your whole grains, but it's not like you've changed everything. There's really a lot of similar patterns, right?
Well, and see, that's the thing. I do the same. Yes, I do the same thing. I have and I'm going to do these shakes for the rest of my life. I love them.
Me too.
And so I do that in the morning, the double shake. I have it on my way to work, which I go to work at 6:30 in the morning. So, and then I still have my banana at 10 o'clock. I still eat my lunch at 11. I still have some fruits or vegetables at 3 o'clock. I mean, I eat a lot, but I'm still losing weight. So
Yeah,
so
that's fabulous. Yeah, that's great. That's provides a lot of hope for people.
Yeah, so I just think that's why I said it's not a diet, it's a way of life.
Yeah,
You just learn.
Yeah, it's you start it in phase 1, and then you continue and build more strategies in phase 2. Let's see what we're getting from. Oh, John said I lost over 30 pounds in phase 2, and yep, I use a lot of phase 1 and phase 2.
Oh yeah, I'll forever drink the shakes too.
Yeah,
And
Sharon, who's lost a lot of weight, she's been on before a couple times.
oh yeah.
My phase 2 strategy is record keeping, over 4,500 calories a PA. She's like, we all know Sharon, she's awesome. And 21 HMR foods. So again, there's a lot of similarity. Kate, who's our monitor tonight, is saying Debbie is keeping up with so many of her phase 1 routines.
Yes.
So this is great. Rick says, poor Dave, forever known as killer after this attempt tonight. Yeah, the irony
I know, it felt really bad.
The irony is that some of the proceeds from those breads go to help prisoners. So I don't know if you knew that.
Oh,
Yeah, did you know
no,
that?
I did not.
Yeah, I mean, so you are actually, you are doing good when you buy Killer Dave's bread. You are actually helping to support prisoners.
Who knew, Debbie?
Just so, if you didn't know that, a little bit of word of wisdom for me. All right. All right. So I want to, just before we end, I want to come back to Darrah for a minute, because I have to say, I know Darrah because I'm her coach. And I can't tell you how much I love Darrah as well, from a different perspective. Yeah. And Darrah, my first question to you, because I, just for everybody to know, I teach 2 HMR staff groups every week. So we have a lot of HMR staff that still are in just do it for their own personal benefits as well.
Yeah.
We all believe we should be role models anyway, but anyway.
100%.
So Darrah, you chose to join my staff group, and it's so interesting because here's this person, no weight problem, ultra marathon runner, and she decides. So why did you decide to take on the accountability and the support of a group?
Since I started joining the group, I have found myself to have lots more fruits and vegetables on top of what I was having before. And the accountability that I have to my group and to my coach means so much to me, and it makes me want to work harder. Just having that camaraderie and listening to what everyone's week was like, and the friendly competition we might have. But really, it's the main reason I wanted to join was because I really want to walk the walk. I want to do the healthy behaviors that I'm asking other people to do. And that's what I wanted to do. I don't think, I don't want to, I really feel it's important. I think we should walk the walk. I really do.
Absolutely.
And have tracking like we track and asking people to log as like we log, I think it makes us better coaches. I really do.
And I'm going to push you a little bit further, because first of all, Darrah is probably no surprise to Brooke and Debbie, very open, very ready to take on a push every single week. And I can verbalize changes you've made.
Yeah.
Even though you were healthy, changes you've made since you started in the program and continue to make.
Yeah.
So tell us, and you've shared this, so how are you've said you feel better now than you did before you started in the program or participating. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. I feel like my relationship with food, and I know I said that in the beginning, is healed. Even though being an athlete my whole life and being into the fitness, you hear these things about fruit and potatoes and, pastas, and your mind just kind of gets static. You don't really know what's right. And so doing this, literally not being hungry, I cannot say enough how important that is and how much that means to me, because how many people are out there starving themselves or not eating fruit, which is so important to have those antioxidants. It makes me really sad to think anyone's out there not knowing that you don't have to be hungry. And that blows people's minds every time they come in. I say the hardest thing you will have is how much food you'll be eating.
Yeah.
That is your biggest complaint you will have. And
the reason Darrah is pushing you to have a 10 serving day is because she took it on and did it. See, because she probably wouldn't have even thought to give you a 10 serving day if it hadn't been that she did herself. So anyway, she's a fabulous coach. You're in fabulous hands. I know you know that, but I just wanted everybody to know it again. And I love having you in group. Don't you dare leave. No, I'm teasing.
I love group. I look forward to it every week.
Yeah, I know. She's the first one on.
I am. I'm like, hi, Nancy.
So with that, I think it's time to shut us down here. I really want to thank you guys for being on with us tonight, Brooke and Debbie and Darrah, and really just sharing a lot of personal experiences. I know, just from what we've read, it's been very inspiring to many, many people here. And as always, I want to thank all of you in the audience, because you know what? These live events would not be anywhere near as tremendous if it weren't for all of you who join us and watch. So thank you
for watching
to our HMR community. And with that, we'll be back in a couple of weeks on August 12th. We're still on our summer schedule of every other week. But so we hope to see you then. Mark that on your calendar, August 12th at 7 p.m. Eastern. And otherwise, have a great week, everybody. Take care. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for commenting.
Bye.